Breaking news down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Protest over a deadly police shooting there, setting off a wave of angry protest. NBC's Chris Clackham has the latest on this for us. Chris, good morning to you.
Matt, good morning to you. The scene here far different than what it was just a few short hours ago. Protesters remained on the streets into the wee hours of the early morning following the shooting of an African-American man that police say was armed and dangerous, but family members say was disabled and carrying nothing more than a book. Chaos erupting overnight in Charlotte, North Carolina, after a 43-year-old black man was fatally shot by police at an apartment complex.
We got shots fired, one suspect down on Legacy Court. All officers at 10-4, we got one suspect down.
Authorities say officers were trying to serve a warrant to a different man Tuesday afternoon when they encountered Keith Lamont Scott, who they say was armed.
As they engage him, he is armed with a handgun that we found on scene as well. Makes some imminent threat to them, and because of that, at least one of our officers fired rounds at the subject, shooting him.
News of Scott's death spread quickly, sparking protests near the site of the shooting. Demonstrators faced off with police wearing riot gear.
Why do you have a gas mask? I don't have a gas mask.
Clashing with officers.
They're jumping on top of cars, stopping traffic, and they've got the entire intersection blocked. We're going to need units down here really quick.
Members of Scott's family told local news outlets that he was not armed. Instead, they say he had been clutching a book while waiting to pick up a child after school. A woman who's been identified as a family member of the victim had this to say.
He didn't have no gun. He wasn't messing with nobody. They jumped out their truck. They said, hands up. He got a gun. He got a gun. Pow, 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 pow. That's it.
Officials say at least a dozen officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries during the protest. Now, that was a street sweeper, just came by a few moments ago, cleaning up some of the debris and the rocks and the bottles left over from the overnight protest. Now, the police officer who shot Scott was identified Tuesday night, I should say, as Brentley Vinson, the 2-year veteran of the department, who is also African-American, has been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. Matt, Savannah, back to you.
All right, Chris Clackham down in Charlotte for us this morning. Chris, thank you very much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.
We are continuing to follow this breaking news out of North Charlotte, the University City area. There was a police-involved shooting earlier today where CMPD shot and killed a man, a 43-year-old man. They say he was armed. They say they were in imminent danger, and the family of that man says that's not true. That's what led to what you're seeing here. Live pictures from Sky 3. The spotlight is showing at the bottom of the spotlight a cordon of police, a line of SWAT officers in their gear trying to keep protesters at this point sort of in one area, Paul.
Right. We're just told that Old Concord Road is shut down all the way to W.T. Harris at this point, and you can understand why. Now, this all started really when the family tweeted out that the man was sitting in the car waiting to pick up his child from school. And so you can understand if that's the true story, then these people are pretty upset. Sarah Blake Morgan is down near all these protesters. She's been reporting for us. And Sarah Blake, you're still there? Everything okay?
Yeah, Paul, I'll tell you that we are probably about 10, 20 feet away from where that police cruiser is that you've been seeing on Sky 3. And I can feel the tear gas in my eyes and in my nose. It's quite strong here, but let's walk through so you can see all these people that are out here. It's pretty much the same. We haven't seen more violence or less violence in the past 10, 15 minutes, but people out here are angry. Like you see right now over Sky 3, more than 1,000 people, I would say, out here. They are in the middle of Old Concord Road. They plan on being out here for a long time. I would say that most of these people did not know Keith Scott, but they heard about this. I've been asking them how they heard about this. They watched the news. When the news broke this afternoon, they started coming. We got out here about 4:30 this afternoon. At first there were 10, 15, 20, 100 people, and now you can see what this has turned into. 1,000 people. You see the signs back there, "Stop killing us." I told you earlier about a sign that a woman made that said it was only a book. That refers to what the family is saying, that this man was holding a book. He wasn't holding a gun, according to the family. Of course, police say that that was a gun, not a book. But I did speak to family members earlier, and they said that Keith Scott was a husband and he was a father of 7 kids. I talked to 2 of those kids. But these people here, they say they're just here to support those people. Police, so far, it looks like they are safe. We did hear of one officer with a bloody face. Earlier, we saw water bottles being thrown at those officers, but in the past probably 20 minutes, I haven't seen that anymore because other protesters are encouraging the ones that are a little more agitated to be more peaceful. Some of these protesters just want to get their message across. They don't want to be violent, but some of them are a little more agitated. Back to you guys.
Sarah Blake, Morgan, thanks so much. And again, stay safe down there and let us know if anything changes on that situation.
Right now, Paul, we're going to go to Colleen Harry. Colleen, I understand you've made your way. I do see people behind you. I understand you've made your way, though, to the police cruiser we just saw getting shattered and smashed by vandals.
That's right, Molly. If you guys can take a look over my shoulder, if we can just squeeze in right behind here, you can see. Can you squeeze over for me there, sir? You can see the police officer, the police cruiser, rather, that was smashed over. We weren't quite here when this happened, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. But I can tell you, Molly, there are a lot of folks around me, a lot of them saying that they are angry about what happened. We're hearing the Black Lives Matter chant going up, people looking for some accountability. You've got some folks over behind me, a young man standing in front of the riot control officers, trying to talk with them, I presume. No, we have not seen any violence on our end since we got here, but obviously, as you know, you can see the police cruiser that was smashed in. A lot of young folks out here telling me that they're angry about what happened, Molly.
All right, Colleen.
And Colleen and Sarah Blake and Alex, all very calm and professional in their job at reporting night. Colleen, thank you very much. Please remain calm.
Yeah.
That police cruiser, we did have some of the pictures we saw live on Sky 3. You could see what had happened, and everybody had remained pretty calm tonight, Paul, until that happened. That was the first violent situation we'd seen, and we'd been watching this for hours. As we said, it has played out on social media and video clips all night long.
Well, Molly, I think a lot of our viewers think the same thing I am. There's no excuse for that kind of vandalism on a police car. If you want to protest, protest, but protest peacefully. And you know what? If you want to anger the police department, you'll do something like this. So those people need to be taken away from that police car, and we need to disperse the crowd. Let them protest, though, but disperse the crowd if possible.
And police officers did respond to that cruiser as soon as it happened, and they all did flee. So they are certainly in that situation now, trying to respond accordingly.
They've got it protected. Breaking news, one man is dead, shot by an officer in Northeast Charlotte. This is on Old Concord Road, where crowds are gathering. Police say the man they shot had a gun and posed an imminent threat. Welcome to WBTV News at 6. I'm Paul Cameron.
And I'm Maureen O'Boyle. WBTV's Sarah Blake Morgan is live there on the scene. Sarah Blake, what have you learned?
Well, Maureen, we actually just got a little bit closer to the crime scene. I'm going to step out of the way right now so you can see what police are doing. You see that van over there that the crime scene investigators are working on. Now, this is what police are telling us at this time. They say that around 3:54, officers with CMPD were searching for a suspect with an outstanding warrant. They were in this parking lot at this apartment complex when police say they located a suspect that was inside a vehicle. They say that suspect got out of the car with a gun. They say he then got back in the car and officers tried to approach him. At that point, they say that suspect got out of the car, and that is when police say they believed there was an imminent threat. We don't know exactly all the information about what happened there, but take a listen to what the chief had to say about 15 minutes ago.
As they engage him, he is armed with a handgun that we found on scene as well. Makes some imminent threat to them, and because of that, at least one of our officers fired.
So there are still a lot of questions out here that we're trying to find the answers to. We don't know what those warrants were that were being served out here. We do know, though, that no officers were hurt. That suspect is dead. Police said that they tried CPR, but he was pronounced dead at CMC. Now, as you guys mentioned earlier, there are quite a few people at this apartment complex that are not happy. In fact, one guy came over to us about 5 minutes ago and said there was about to be a fight with the police. But of course, lots of questions out here. We're going to work to get answers and bring them to you as soon as we get them. Back to you guys.
All right, Sarah Blake, thank you. Now, we just got into the Alert Center some video from the ground level that's been posted on social media. Here's Alex Giles. So what does this say?
Yes, Paul, Maureen, you heard Sarah Blake reference the crowds out there that were unhappy with police. We believe this video is from one of those people down there in the crowd. Someone was actually streaming this on Facebook Live. These are the people outside of this crime scene talking to the officers. You can see it was getting quite heated. At some points, they were in officers' faces. Again, this was being streamed live on Facebook. At one point, there were 30,000 people, 30,000 watching this live. They were yelling at police. They appeared to be upset, and we know they were definitely not happy about what had just happened in their community. There was some name calling, and we know that police did try to defuse the situation at some point, but as Sarah Blake did tell us, obviously the crowds out there are still a little intense. We're going to continue to follow this story. Hopefully everything stays safe in that community tonight. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Alex, we certainly will follow this.
Get your ass shit. Fuck y'all! Get your ass come. Gun up out of there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pull that shot. Y'all see that? I don't care. Here they come! Here they come! Here they They can kiss my ass with that chill shit. We can't chill no more. Chilling getting us killed, man. That's some bullshit. We ain't chilling no more, man. For real. Nigga, do something, man. We out here, man. We ain't playing no motherfucking games, nigga. Y'all think this a game? Y'all think we gonna sit down for this shit? Y'all got us fucked up, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. All y'all so-called wannabe gangsta ass niggas, where the fuck y'all at, nigga? I see y'all, nigga. I be everywhere y'all niggas claim to be. When I see y'all, nigga, I'm calling you out, nigga. Where the fuck y'all at when they killing us? Hoe ass niggas.
How many dealers you got now?
65,000.